Manchester United have just lost 3-0 at home to Bournemouth. What an absolute disgrace. We will be getting into our match reaction. I will be giving you my thoughts. But before we do that, please do make sure to smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe if you are new. And let's get straight on into it. That was a weird game of football, to be completely honest. Did we play well? Clearly not. Did Bournemouth finish their chances? Yes. Were Bournemouth the better side? Probably. I mean, the scoreline says they were. I don't know. I just every time I watch Manchester United these days, I'm speechless. It then makes you think, was the performance against Chelsea as good as we thought? Were Chelsea just poor? Should Chelsea have scored a couple of chances? Probably. Were we over egging the pudding, thinking positively after beating Chelsea? Maybe we didn't even deserve to beat it. Do you know what I mean? When you actually start to think of it a little bit, I mean, you even go back to the Everton game. Like, Everton should have scored 2 or 3 goals in the first half in that game, but we came up 3-0. Football's a funny old sport. It is. I mean, if you look at the stats, I mean, some people like stats, don't they? If you go off the stats of that game, we had 70% possession. Bournemouth had 1.4 XG. We had 1.4 XG. Bournemouth won 3-0. We had 20 shots. They had 10. Bournemouth won 3-0. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses for these players. The black and white of it was Bournemouth had maybe 3 or 4 opportunities and they scored 3 goals. Manchester United spent 70% of the game in the opponent's half, constantly trying to create chances and created nothing. Our defence is poor. It is. Harry Maguire just won Player of the Month. He's not good enough, let's be honest. Luke Shaw at left-sided centre-back, not good enough, let's be honest. Reguilon, not good enough. Onana, not good enough. Dalot, I don't think is good enough to be a Manchester United player. McTominay's bang average. Amrabat, I think he had an okay game, I'll be fair to him. I don't think he had a terrible match. Garnacho didn't look great today. He was trying, but nothing seemed to pay off. Bruno had an absolute stinker. Bruno obviously will miss the game against Liverpool. He got a yellow card today, which means he will be out of the Liverpool game. Anthony, I thought, was pretty good in the first half, to be fair. I'll give Anthony some credit. Martial, absolutely useless. And Højlund came on and it was, again, nothing. He offered nothing. It was just a poor performance all around. It really, really was. And I assume that most people will be saying, get Ten Hag out now. He's not going to go. He's not going to go, mate. He's not. Whether you want Erik Ten Hag to go or not, I don't think Erik Ten Hag will be sacked for this. I don't. What would be the solution? Sacking Erik Ten Hag, as I've said to you many, many times before, will cost you about £20 million. You've got to pay off the whole of his... you've got to pay off about 100 million. Sorry, not 100 million, about 20. Let's have a look. Ten Hag's contract. So his contract is... He's earning £9 million per year, and he's got another 20 months left of his contract. So let's have a quick look. If we were to sack Erik Ten Hag today, we'd have to pay him £15 million today. Just let that sink in for a minute. Manchester United are exploring bringing people in on loan, exploring swap deals, exploring having to sell to buy in the January transfer window. If you want Erik Ten Hag to be sacked today, which I'm sure some of you do, that's up to you. Where are we getting the £15 million to do that from? We don't have it. We don't. We're in an absolute mess. We know that. Jim Ratcliffe coming in is not going to make that difference. Like, you have to think about all of those things. It will cost you £15 million. Then who'd you go and get? Who'd you go and sign? Let me know. I mean, if we look at the next Manchester United manager odds, I'll go through it with you really, really quickly. I'm just trying to be the voice of reason here because it's so easy to sit there and scream Erik Ten Hag out, Erik Ten Hag out. I mean, the top 5 people are Zinedine Zidane, Graham Potter, Nagelsmann, Amorim, and Robert De Zerbi. And I don't think that any of them will be able to fix this team. They're all bang average. Let's be honest. Every single one of those players is very, very average. Bruno, I think on his day is a good player, but the rest of them are terrible. Absolutely terrible. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Daniel says, absolutely ridiculous. I saw Martial on the starting 11 and I just knew. Yeah, mate, I'll agree with you. Martial starting was not the correct decision. It should have 100% been Rasmus Højlund. Now, does this make Erik Ten Hag's job at stake? I don't know. I don't know what the Glazers are thinking, but if you were to ask me, I would probably say no because they simply won't want to pay him the £15 million. It does then make you think, though, why is Varane still sat on the bench? You've got Luke Shaw playing at centre-back. You've got Reguilon playing at left-back, who, let's be honest, is bang average. And it doesn't really help Erik Ten Hag's case, I will say that. You know, you've got one of the best centre-backs in world football over the last 10 years, Rafael Varane, sat on the bench, and he still doesn't get a sniff. You get Johnny Evans coming on instead of him. Like, there are lots of decisions that Erik Ten Hag makes that are very, very questionable. Why did Martial start? You know, like, All of these things. Why did he not make any substitutions at half time? Why did he not make any substitutions after 20, 30 minutes? McTominay and Amrabat as a midfield two doesn't work because McTominay goes forward as a striker and leaves Amrabat on his own. There's so many things that me, as somebody with a relatively basic football knowledge compared to a professional football manager like Erik ten Hag, can see sat in his bedroom watching it on the TV, you know? Like, how is he not able to identify these things? That's what completely baffles me. It's easy to blame the players because they deserve a lot of the blame, but there is lots of things that you can point at Erik ten Hag as well. There really, really is, because there are so many questionable decisions. Let me know in the chat, guys. I'll get a poll going. Let's do it. Why not? In or out? Everybody smash a like on the video, please. I know everyone's feeling miserable, but obviously support the channel if you can. I'm going to get a poll set up now. Let's see what people say. So the question is, Erik ten Hag in or out? Simple question. I'm still Erik ten Hag in because I don't think there's a better option at this point. I don't think Manchester United have the money to sack him. So if somebody said to me you could get Zinedine Zidane tomorrow and in January you would sell Maguire, McTominay, Donny van de Beek, Martial, Reguilon would go back to Tottenham, you would bring in 5-6 players alongside Zinedine Zidane, I would probably say, yeah, okay, cool. That sounds like a great idea. But you're living in fantasy, guys. That's never going to happen. 1, Manchester United won't cop off the money to sack him. 2, Zinedine Zidane or somebody like that wouldn't even come to Manchester United. And 3, if they did, they would just have to make the best of what we've already got. And it's frustrating, it is. Most people in the chat seem to be saying Erik ten Hag has to go. The thing is, right, as I've said to you many, many times before, if there is this other dream scenario painted to me and it's actually real, then maybe I would entertain it. But there isn't. There simply isn't that, okay? We're stuck with what we've got. We've got these rubbish players. I saw this morning that apparently Martial is about to be given a new contract. This was from The Athletic. That just sums it up for me. The fact that Martial is being considered for a new contract. We scream mediocrity, and this is our level. I said this to you months before. This is our level. We are a team that will finish anywhere between top 4, 4th place and 10th. I think that's our level now going forward, and we just have to be realistic. So after that game, we're still in the same place points-wise, still 3 points off the top 4, but obviously Tottenham haven't played yet, Newcastle haven't played yet. Brighton lost today, I think, as well. So it was Brighton drew. So we're still in the same position. Obviously, lots of other teams have still got to play. Who plays tomorrow? Let's have a look. So Tottenham play Newcastle. We could end the weekend in and around the same position as we are now, just based on other kind of teams not succeeding. I don't think Erik ten Hag will be sacked, though. We're 3 points off top 4. Just let that sink in still. We're still only 3 points off top 4. Things can change. But is it acceptable to be losing 3-0 at home to Bournemouth? It's not. Let's be honest. Bournemouth are 15th in the table. They didn't win a single one of their first 9 matches, and they've won a couple of their last games, and they've picked up a bit of form. But to lose 3-0 at home to Bournemouth is an absolute disgrace. The players were awful. They have no creative intelligence. I think Bruno had an absolute stinker. Daniel says, Dallo lost this for us. That pass was a sitter. Yeah, there were so many opportunities where these players were greedy. I mean, Garnacho was very greedy today. So many times he had the opportunity to put the ball into somebody and he did nothing. It's just frustrating, isn't it? And I would not be surprised now, right, that we go and beat Bayern Munich on Tuesday. I would not be surprised at all. I genuinely think we'll go and beat Bayern on Tuesday. Bayern just lost 5-1 to Frankfurt in the Bundesliga. I reckon we'll go and beat Bayern, but I think, the result over in Copenhagen will mean that we don't go through. And I think that we will see a reaction because it's every single time, right? We play well, then we get battered. We play well, we get battered. We play well, we get battered. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. I genuinely thought we would win this game. I really, really did. I thought it would be an easy win. Maybe I was being naive, but I think when you look at the fixtures that come up after this, I think Erik ten Hag's going to be very, very... it's going to be very difficult for Erik ten Hag to stay in his job, to be completely honest with you. After this, 3-0 at home to Bournemouth, that's a disgrace. Bournemouth, a championship level side. They are. Let's be clear. You now have to go and play Bayern Munich. Then we go and play Liverpool away. Then you play West Ham away. Then you play Aston Villa. I mean, we could easily lose every single one of those games. We easily could. Liverpool will lose. West Ham will lose. Aston Villa will be very difficult. Bayern Munich we could easily lose. And Nottingham Forest then away as well. I mean, we could easily lose that. We could lose the next 5 games. And I mean, even if you look further forward than that, you've then got Tottenham and West Ham. Like, the next 7 or 8 games are against the top 10. And we don't do well against the top 10. We picked up points last season by beating the teams in the bottom half. This season, we lost to Crystal Palace at home. We lost to Bournemouth at home. We narrowly beat Luton at home. Like, we have really, really struggled against these lesser sides, and we've really struggled against the sides in the top 10. We are 3 points off top 4, but it's not been convincing at any point this season, has it? Like, let's be completely honest here. But let me know what you guys think. At the moment, the poll is about 50-50 for Erik ten Hag. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to wrap the video up here. Now I'm going to go and try and relax and do something else. Have a lovely evening, everybody. Yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon.